Hi, this is Albert Harapedian from Arbitrage Real Estate Group, and the main reason I wanted to set up this video was to basically keep you educated as far as what is happening in our local area here. A lot of people have a misconceived notion that the market is just horrible, homes are not selling. So what I basically want to do is I want to shed some light as far as the hardcore facts of what is happening right around us. So with that said, currently in Glendale there's 271 homes that are in escrow. Interestingly enough, out of those 271 homes, only 102 of them are equity sales. And now what equity sales are, and I get this question asked a lot, these are homes that are sold the traditional way, where they're not a short sale and they're not a foreclosure. There's 139 short sales that are out there, and the remainder of the number is about 30 homes that are currently in foreclosure. What I don't like seeing though are these short sales that are not done the proper way. So I'm sure you guys have heard of that. We don't partake in that type of business practice. However, there's a lot of short sales that are going on right now that should not be happening. So I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from with that. In Burbank, there's 175 homes that are in escrow, 67 of which are actual equity sales, 86 short sales, and only 22 foreclosures. La Crescenta has 37 homes in escrow. 17 of them are regular equity sales, 16 of them are short sales, 4 of them are REO properties. La Cañada only has 27 properties in escrow, 15 of them are equity sales, 11 of them are short sales, and only 1 foreclosure. And lastly, Pasadena had 208 properties, or has 208 properties currently in escrow. There's 99 homes that are regular equity sales, 88 short sales, and 21 foreclosed properties. Now, what I encourage you to do is, if you're curious at all, anytime, as far as what's in escrow, we can provide that information for you. A lot of times what happens is when you go on our websites or you go on other brokers' websites, you can only see the information of what's available. So what I like to do is I like to engage my buyers to see what's actually selling, not just what's available, because oftentimes as buyers we go out there, we see what's available, and then we get turned off because we feel like everything is overpriced. And then we come back and then all we hear about is this property sold, that property did not sell, and then you see the same listing over and over again with multiple price reductions. So what I urge you to do is pay attention to what equity sales are currently in escrow, and that's what I primarily do. Is I want to get a feel for what is that number for those properties that are selling. Now, for sellers that are not facing financial hardship, this is very important, because what's happening with short sales and foreclosures, the sellers don't care what the properties are selling for, because at that point in time it's the bank that determines what they're willing to short sell the loan amount for, or there's a bank that wants to go ahead and unload a property off of their books. So it's very important to focus on these equity sales to see what your competition is like. Now, with these equity sales, what that does is gives you a clear picture of what's selling. Oftentimes when I'm selling my listings, I will be up against the appraisers, challenging them on the comparables that they're using, because it's not fair to my sellers for an appraiser to go out there and compare an equity sale to a short sale or a foreclosed property, because the inherent interest in getting those properties sold is nowhere near as great as what a seller would get if they were doing a traditional equity sale. So as a buyer, it's great to look at these numbers, because on the short sales or the foreclosed properties, oftentimes you're able to get a little bit more of a discount. However, the properties are not maintained the same way how an equity purchase would be done. So I'd love to dive into more details as far as how this works. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on right now in our marketplace. One thing that I also want to tell you is that there's a lot of short sales going on. In fact, looking at the numbers here, the bulk of the sales that are currently in escrow are short sales. However, a majority of these short sales don't actually get approved, and they never get completed, and there's a lot of frequent times where we will see these short sales actually turn into foreclosures or investor purchase properties. So we have a good grip as far as what's happening in our local marketplace. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 818-244-2939. Again, this is Albert Harapedian from Arbitrage Real Estate Group. It's always an honor for me to go ahead and address what's happening in our local area, and to also educate you, whether you're a buyer or a seller, as far as what's happening around us. So have a great day. Again, our number is 818-244-2939. Thanks again, and talk to you soon.